90%. Nearly 90% of the best performing videos on YouTube share one thing in common, and it's not the video itself. It's a custom thumbnail. Think of that little image as the movie poster for everything you make. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You can pour a week into a genuinely great video, and if the poster is weak, almost nobody presses play. The video just dies, unseen. So this is a money video hiding inside a design video. Your thumbnail drives your click-through rate, and that rate is the single biggest lever on how many people ever see your work. The good news is you don't need to be a designer anymore. I can build a click-worthy thumbnail in minutes, even if you can't draw a straight line. But there's one catch that separates the thumbnails that win from the ones that quietly get your channel flagged, and I'm not handing it over until the end.
Kai here, and let me put a real number on why this matters, because it's bigger than people think. Click-through rate is just the percentage of people who see your thumbnail and actually click. Lift it from 4% to 8%, and you didn't gain a little. You doubled your views off the exact same video in the exact same recommendations. The thumbnail is the highest leverage image you'll ever make.
Hey everyone, Michael here, and the reason this got exciting is that the hard part just disappeared. Think about what you're really up against on YouTube. Every single video is fighting for the same click in a feed stacked with bright, loud thumbnails, and a viewer scrolls past the whole thing in about 1 second. You used to need Photoshop and real design chops to survive that. Now you describe what you want, and a tool like Canva or ChatGPT builds it. You direct the concept. The AI does the pixels.
I'm Liam, and my read is that same tool is exactly where beginners hurt themselves. Because you can also type, "make me a thumbnail," grab the first generic thing it spits out, and post it, and a viewer can smell that instantly. An overbaked, fake-looking AI render doesn't just get scrolled past. It reads as low effort, and that's the pattern YouTube has been demonetizing all year.
And that's the line the whole episode lives on. The tool isn't the problem. Letting the tool do your thinking is. When you bring the concept, the emotion, the promise, and let the AI execute it, you get a thumbnail that pops and still looks like a person made a real choice. That's assisting. Typing one lazy prompt and shipping whatever falls out is replacing yourself, and it shows.
So that's the stakes. And Liam, you hear this next fear under every single video like this one. Go ahead and say it out loud.
Yeah, and it's this one exactly. People keep asking, can AI really make a thumbnail that gets clicks, or does it always look obviously fake? My plain read, having tested a lot of them, is that AI can absolutely make a great thumbnail. While fake-looking ones aren't an AI problem, they're a direction problem.
Exactly right, so hold that frame. Direct it, and AI is the best design hire you'll ever make. Type one lazy prompt, and it's a liability. Here's the plan. First, the 3 things that actually win a click. Then we build one live with AI in about 5 minutes. Then the step almost nobody does, which is testing it. And the whole checklist, the tools, the prompts, they're free at grow.professorerica.com. Let's go win the click.
The winning thumbnails almost all obey the same 3 rules, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. One clear subject, high contrast, and just a few big words. That's the whole recipe. Everything else is noise you need to cut.
Start with contrast, because it's the one people get wrong. Contrast isn't about using your favorite color. It's about making your subject jump off the background. A bright subject on a dark background pops. A dark subject on a bright one pops. A muddy subject on a busy background just vanishes into the scroll, and no color choice saves it.
Rule 2 is the one with the most evidence behind it. A human face, showing a real emotion. We're wired to look at other faces, and a genuine flash of surprise or curiosity pulls the eye harder than any object or block of text. A neutral, dead-eyed stare doesn't. The emotion is the hook, not the face by itself.
And rule 3 is text, with a hard limit. 3 to 5 words, maximum. Most people watch on a phone where your thumbnail is the size of a postage stamp. A full sentence is unreadable there. A few bold words at high contrast is not. If your headline needs a paragraph, the video is doing the talking, not the thumbnail.
Let me put the winner and the loser side by side because the gap is stark. On the left, the thumbnail that earns the click. One subject, high contrast, a face with real emotion, 3 or 4 words. On the right, the one that dies on arrival. 5 things fighting for attention, low contrast, no face, a whole sentence. Same topic, completely different result.
Back up a second, 3 words for a tutorial channel? Some topics need more than that.
Fair challenge. And the answer is a trick you can use forever, the squint test. Here's how it works. Shrink your thumbnail down to phone size and squint at it. If you can still tell what it is and read the words in about 1 second, you're fine. If you can't, cut a word or cut an element. The squint test beats every rule because it's just the viewer's real experience.
So, contrast, a face, a few words, and the squint test to check it. That's the concept nailed, which raises the obvious next question. How do you actually build that with AI without owning a single design skill?
Before we keep going, one small favor that actually moves the needle. If this is landing for you, tap like, then subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the rest. 2 taps, completely free, and it pushes this in front of more people who need it.
Here's the whole AI thumbnail workflow and its 4 quick steps. Concept, generate, text, and test. The first one is the only one the AI can't do for you, and it's the most important, so that's where we start. Step 1 is the concept, and it happens before you touch a tool. In 1 sentence, what's the emotion and what's the promise? A shocked face, plus the words, "You're overpaying." That's a concept. You're writing the movie poster in words first. Skip this and you're just asking a robot to guess, which is exactly how you end up with generic slop.
Step 2, generate the image, and this is where you pick a lane. Canva is the friendly one. Hundreds of thumbnail templates, and its Magic Studio can generate a background, erase the junk behind your subject, or stretch an image wider, all from a text box. There's a genuinely usable free plan, and the paid one runs about $15 a month for a lot more AI credits.
And here's why Canva is the beginner's pick. You start from a template that already obeys those 3 rules. Drop your subject in, swap the words for yours, and you're basically done. You're not designing from a blank page, you're editing something that already works. For someone who wants a fast, clean result without learning design first, that is the easiest on-ramp there is.
The other lane is ChatGPT's image tool, and it crossed a real line this year. It used to butcher any text you ask it to draw. The newer model renders clean, readable headlines right inside the image in a single pass. So you can literally say, bold thumbnail, shocked man, the words 50% off, and get something close to usable in 1 shot.
Step 3 is the text, and here's where you take over again. Whatever tool made the image, drop it into Canva or any editor and put your own 3 to 5 words on top. Huge, high contrast, your font. That last human pass is what makes it yours instead of the default. It's 10 seconds of work, and it's the whole gap between polished and generic.
And one rule no matter which tool you pick, don't marry it. Just this year, OpenAI retired the older image models that a whole lot of creators had built their entire thumbnail routine around. One morning, gone. So keep your concepts and your text somewhere safe and treat the generator as swappable. The skill is yours. The tool is just this month's brush.
Actually, before we get to testing, Liam, you always ask the thing the beginner is really thinking. What's the doubt here?
Truth be told, this one nags at me. If everyone is using these same few AI tools, won't every thumbnail start to look the same and mine just blends into the feed?
Good question, and the answer is your concept, not the tool. The tool hands everyone the same raw materials. What it can't generate is your specific angle, your face, your exact promise. 2 people can use the identical tool, and one blends in while the other stands out entirely because of the concept they brought to it. Which is exactly why we don't guess, we test. So let's go do that. So you've got a thumbnail you're proud of. Here's the step almost nobody does, and it's the one the pros never skip. Don't guess whether it's good, test it. Your taste isn't the audience's taste, and even people who do this for a living guess wrong all the time.
And you don't need a third-party tool for this, because YouTube built it right in. It's called Test and Compare inside YouTube Studio. You upload up to 3 different thumbnails for the same video. YouTube shows each one to a slice of your real audience, and then it tells you which one. It's a free experiment running on live traffic.
And here's the detail that quietly changes everything, so listen closely. YouTube does not pick the winner by which thumbnail got the most clicks. It picks the one that led to the most watch time. Watch time, not clicks.
Wait, so a thumbnail could win more clicks and still lose the test?
Exactly, and that's the beating heart of this whole topic. A clickbait thumbnail that oversells can win the click, and then people bail in 10 seconds because the video didn't deliver what the poster promised. That tanks your watch time, and Test and Compare will actually reject it for you. The platform is quietly forcing your thumbnail to tell the truth.
Which is the rule to tattoo on your hand. Your thumbnail can be bold, it can be dramatic, but it has to match what the video actually delivers. Bait wins the click and loses the channel. A truthful, clear promise wins the click and keeps the viewer. That second one is the thumbnail that compounds.
And here's the catch, nobody advertises with the AI part, because I don't want to oversell it. A fully AI-generated thumbnail can look a little too perfect, a little uncanny, and sometimes a plain, real screenshot with big, bold text just outclicks the fancy render. For a lot of niches, tech, finance, news, the real screenshot is the stronger move. So use AI for the pieces. Don't assume the full generation always wins.
Liam, there's a version of this fear that shows up in the comments constantly. You take it.
Happy to. People keep asking straight up, will using an AI-generated thumbnail get my channel flagged or demonetized? Amamlusa is no, not on its own. A thumbnail doesn't get you flagged. A whole channel of lazy, templated, no-effort uploads does. A directed thumbnail on a genuinely original video is completely safe.
That's the useful frame. Direct it, match it to the video, and test it. Which leaves the one real fight we've been circling all episode. Should you let the AI generate the whole thing or design it yourself? Let's settle it. So here's the fight worth having, the one hiding under every tool in this episode. When you sit down to make a thumbnail, should you let the AI generate the whole thing, start to finish, or design it yourself and only use AI for the pieces? Kai says, let the machine build it. Liam says your hand has to be on it. This decides how your entire channel is going to look. Kai, make your case.
Speed and volume, that's the whole case. A beginner with 0 design skill can describe a thumbnail and have 5 polished options in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Try that by hand and you're watching tutorials for a week. And because it's that fast, you can make 3 versions and actually test them, which is the thing that genuinely raises your clicks. Perfect is the enemy of published. Let the machine build it and ship.
And my read is that's exactly how everyone ends up with the same thumbnail. If your whole image is one prompt, so is everyone else's. The thumbnails that actually win almost always have a real element in them. Euphrates, a real screenshot, a specific object, something the generator could never invent. A fully generated image is the fastest way to look like every other channel in the feed.
Back up a second, Kai, answer that head on. If the fully generated look is what makes everyone blend together, isn't the speed just helping you produce forgettable thumbnails faster?
Only if you stop at the raw generation, and I wouldn't. Generate the base, then drop your own face and your own words on top. You still get the 2-minute speed and the human element. The point was never that the AI does all of it. It's that it does the boring 90%, so your judgment goes on the 10% that actually matters.
So then you agree, the human part is the part that wins.
I do, truth be told. The human element is what wins. I just want it sitting on top of a machine that already did the grunt work so you can ship 4 times as often. Fast and directed beats slow and precious every time.
I'll give you the speed. I still think beginners hide behind full generation to avoid making a real choice, and the thumbnail goes flat because of it. If you can put one real thing in there, your face, a screenshot, do it. That's the actual asset.
So where I land, and it lines up with everything the data says. There is no AI versus human answer here. There's directed versus undirected. Use AI to move fast, to generate backgrounds, to kill the design learning curve, absolutely. But the concept, the emotion, and at least one real human element, your face, a screenshot, your own words, that is what earns the click and keeps you original enough to stay eligible. If you're a total beginner with no design sense, lean on the templates and the generation to start. As you grow, put more of yourself into it. Either way, the rule holds. The tool builds it, you direct it. And then you test it, because your guess and your audience almost never agree. So remember this one, because it's the whole episode in a sentence. AI can paint the poster. You still have to decide what it says. Quick recap. Your thumbnail is the movie poster for your video, and the single biggest lever on whether anyone ever presses play. 3 things win the click. 1 clear subject, high contrast, and a few bold words, ideally with a real face and a real emotion. AI builds every piece in minutes, but only if you bring the concept.
The number to keep. Doubling your click-through rate doubles your views off the exact same video. But YouTube's own test picks the winner by watch time, not clicks, so a truthful thumbnail beats a bait one every time.
Your first move tonight. Take your worst performing video, the one you know is better than its views, and make 3 new thumbnails with the squint test in mind. Run, test, and compare. You might revive a video you already made, and send this to the friend whose thumbnails are killing their channel.
The asterisk on all of this: don't assume the fully AI-generated image always wins. Sometimes a plain real screenshot with big bold text outclicks the fancy render. Put one real thing in there, and let the AI do the rest.
Next in the series, we go from the click to getting found. AI titles and tags that actually rank in search, and the same 4 title formulas the pros lean on.
If this gave you the real playbook instead of the hype, hit like and subscribe, because we're building this whole faceless channel roadmap 1 video at a time. And that free thumbnail checklist and tool directory is waiting at grow.professorerica.com.
Here's the one we couldn't settle, so tell us in the comments. Do you design your thumbnails yourself or let AI generate them, and which one is getting you more clicks?
You came, you learned, you leveled up. Professor Erica here. I will see you in the next one.